Hey there, welcome back to Minifig Monday. Thanks for joining me once again. Today we'll be taking a look at another Mandalorian figure. This is Gar Saxon, a kind of villain character from the Clone Wars series and Rebels as well. This particular minifigure only comes in one set, the Mandalorian Starfighter from 2021. And I believe it's the first time that he's been a minifig. It was in that set. So it's a big deal because he's kind of a major character in the later years of the Clone Wars. And this represents his season, I believe it's season 5 of the Clone Wars. I could be wrong, but it's definitely later in the series. So yeah, actually I think it's season 7, either season 5 or 7. I'm not sure exactly, but it's one of those two. Anyway, here he is. I'll give you 360 of him. I may have to turn up the brightness for this guy because he is very dark in terms of the color scheme. He's pretty much just gunmetal gray, just a shiny, darker gray, which is fine. That's very accurate to how he was in the series. That's cool. I did want to talk about his weapon, or the accessories for each of these. And he does come with the same gun that Bo-Katan has in the same set, as well as the, if I can find him, the Mandalorian Loyalist here as well. So those three figures all come in the set, along with Gar Saxon here. And it's a great gun. It's not a usual LEGO Star Wars gun. In fact, I think this set is the only one to include this particular type of blaster in a set. I think it's the first time, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about it. But yeah, it only comes with the one gun. He does have a brand new helmet piece. At the time, it still is newer. And he does also share it with the armorer. I'm not going to get her, but she does come with the Mandalorian Forge set from the Mandalorian, and she has the same helmet, just different design work. I think it works a little bit better for Gar Saxon here because it was designed for him. He's got the Darth Maul horns, 4 of them, and you may notice he looks kind of like Darth Maul. Well, that's because he was allied with Maul during the later half of the Clone Wars. Its whole storyline, it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. You should check it out. But he's very darkly colored. You'll notice that he's very hard to see. The detailing is a little hard to see because it's all dark metal. Let me see if I can turn up the brightness a little bit. Maybe that's too much, but you can see it a little bit better now. It does shine in the light. It's very, very strong detailing. He's got red armor plating protecting his chest. He's got the middle part there. He does have a waist cape, which is not physical, but it's printed on. Looks pretty good. And he does have foot detailing showing his boots. And yeah, he does have the jetpack as well, which matches his color scheme. The back of his helmet looks great. He's got some black gloves, looking pretty cool. His armor design is kind of scuffed up. He hasn't kept his armor in as good condition as some of his fellow Mandalorians, like Bo here. She's a little bit more nicely decorated than Saxon here. And he does have a face. I'll show you that in a minute. He does have detailing on the back of him as well, which is really nice. And this helmet is fantastic. You've got the yellow visor, which is just so striking looking. And it's printed very well. You know, sometimes with these helmets you get kind of bad printing, but I think in this case the helmet is printed extremely well. You've got lots of yellow, bright yellow printing against a metal kind of gray helmet. It looks really good. You've got lots of, detailing for his cheek areas here with the black, shade there. You've got some red markings above his visor, which looks pretty cool. And his visor is kind of like a combination of the female Mandalorian design for the helmet and the male design. So, one second, let me get a couple minifigs to show. Let's see, this one and this one. So, depending on if the character is a female or a male, this is a female Mandalorian helmet. You can see it's kind of dark. The visor is kind of down a little bit, like it's facing downwards. And here is a male Mandalorian helmet. This one's probably the most common. It's got the T straight visor. And you can see the design for Gar Saxon's helmet is a little bit different to the traditional design, where it's kind of like a mixture of both the guy version of the visor and the girl version. So it's kind of cool. It's very definitely unique of a helmet, like visor and just a helmet in general, like a piece, and it just stands out really well, I think, and it looks really great. I like the fact that when you turn the helmet to the side, his visor is kind of going up very slightly, so it's very slightly slanted up. It looks great. Let me take his helmet off, though. He does have a face, which is pretty grumpy. You can see he's not a happy guy. He's got some 5 o'clock shadow. He's got kind of grumpy look. His eyebrows are kind of down. He's definitely, you know, angrier or upset. He does not have an alternate face, though, which I think is a little bit disappointing, but that's fine. He doesn't come with a hairpiece, unlike Bo-Katan, which is a little bit lame. But I don't think they have a piece that matches his hair, because his hair is very short on the sides, and it's just a very weird-looking hairstyle. So I don't think they could have pulled that off without making a new piece. I would have liked to see a new piece, but you know what? It's fine. Also, I did want to mention, I really love the Bo-Katan hair that they chose for her in the set. I know that people don't like it, but I really do, and I think it looks very, very good, in my opinion. I can understand the dislike for it, but I don't think they wanted to make a new piece necessarily, so I think they had to go with an existing one, which is fair. And I like this face. It looks very, very accurate to Gar Saxon's character, his face design. Looks very distinctive. You could even use this as like a custom character. I think that it's generic enough that you could use it for someone else if you wanted to. A custom, I don't know, adventurer or something. But let me take off his head for just once. The only time I'm going to do it. But he does have a jetpack. I'll take that off so you can see the back of him, which is just as detailed, I think. It's a little bit dusty, but he is just as detailed as the front. Hopefully you can see that. It's got just more of the same armor, except it's on the back. It looks very similar to Darth Maul's tattoos. It's very scuffed up again, like the front of it. It's not the most detailed thing in the world. Well, I mean, it actually kind of is, but it's not really needed to be seen because the jetpack is just going to go like, boop. It's just going to go right back on there, and you're probably never going to take it off unless you really want to. But let me put our friend Saxon back together. Yeah, I'll put him right there. Let me give you a closer look at his helmet, just so if you're interested. You want to see that? There's the helmet. Printing is excellent. Detail is great. See the inside of there? It's a little bit thicker. This is a specialized piece. The horns aren't super sharp, so you won't get hurt. It looks very nice. Very, very nice. And that will go right back on his head there. And I'm glad that they included him in the set, because he's one of the villains. He's very well designed as a figure, a very distinctive look. I think he has a very, very cool look. And he's most people's favorite character from the set. My favorite is Bo-Katan. She's a little bit more anticipated for me, but I think Gar Saxon is the second best looking figure in the set. And then the Loyalist is pretty good, but kind of the least favorite for me. But he's still great. And so, yeah, Gar Saxon, cool figure. I don't think we'll get him again, though, unless we get more Clone Wars sets, which I kind of doubt. But we could see him again. But if you really want him, this is the set to get him in. I don't see Lego making another version of him anytime soon. Same with Bo-Katan, at least for now. So this is the only way you can get him. And I think it's great that they added him into the set. Yeah. I do think it would have been nice to get another Mandalorian for Saxon, for his side. I think it would have been equal to have 2 good ones and then 2 bad ones. But you know what? It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But let me know what you think about Gar Saxon in the comments below. Do you like this figure? Do you not? Do you think he's the best figure in the set? I think he's probably the most well-designed figure, but my favorite is Bo, for sure. She's just excellent. Yeah, they're both excellent quality. And yeah, that's all I have to say for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm hoping that you did. Hope I showed you everything. Hope I talked about everything. Hope you could see everything with the lighting. Hope it wasn't terrible. And I will see you for the next video, which will be soon. And until then, take care, have a great day, and yeah, thanks again.